What's up? My name is Shatavius Tay Rudy, and I'm just up here to ramble and talk about some stuff. Just knowing yourself. When you get to know yourself, sometimes you have to be to yourself. It's nothing wrong with sitting in the house. It's nothing wrong with being to yourself. And you got to think when you getting yourself together, though, too. Percentage of the time when you getting yourself together, you don't need to be around a lot of people because of the world we live in. We live in a world sometimes that's sad and depressed. And if you look at a lot of people, though, too, they suffering from mental illness. They got a lot of childhood issues, and they got a lot of trauma and a lot of past that they haven't dealt with. And like I said, if you getting to know yourself, you ain't missing out on nothing. Half of those folks that's going out, drinking, clubbing, and posting them pictures, when they get ready and get to the house at night, they feel drained. You ain't missing out on nothing. If you working up on your finance, if you working up on your body, your fitness, or anything that's working up on yourself, you're not missing out on anything. If anything, they missing out on a lot. Because a lot of those people sometimes, though, too, is unhealthy. And I'm not just saying that because they go out to the club and party. You got plenty of healthy and good people that go out and party. And they like to have a good time and like to be responsible. But you got to think to yourself, a lot of people don't work up on themselves a whole lot. Some people suffer from high cholesterol, diabetes, high blood pressure. And instead of them taking time out to write them out a diet plan, to write them out a plan how they going to get themselves together, they just consist moving. You can't always move and run and hide from issues. A lot of people do that. They do it through drugs. They do it through sex. They do it through spending money. They do it through a lot of things. Stealing. They do it through thinking they better than people. And that's not the right way to go about it. You know, you have to really sometimes get down to your issues and see where your issues come from. Sometimes it comes from childhood issues. And sometimes it just comes from up over time. It does. People experience a lot of things. I'm using relationship. Sometimes a relationship can change a person's whole perspective of the way that they see themselves. And they don't get through it. And sad to say, they'll turn to drugs, they'll turn to sex, or they'll turn to another relationship. Percentage of the time when you get up out of that relationship, you need to be praying and get to know yourself and spending time with God. But a lot of people don't do that. They just move on to something else. They move on to another problem. Like I say, being to yourself. And there's nothing wrong with hanging out, getting to know people, being around people. I'm talking about good people that you actually bond with and like and love. I ain't talking about like going inside of your job, going around people who you just have to be around and tolerate it, to tolerate them. I know what that's like, trust. When we go inside of these jobs and we get around these co-workers that are messy, coming there with all their issues, problems, mood, wishy-washy, bipolarness, problems from the house, problems from the past, it can be hard, but you know you learning. And that's another thing, running from everything, running from job to job. It's sad when you look at this generation of kids, how they just run from job to job. Percentage of the time when they run from that job, they go to another job, to another problem. That's all really that they run into. And they'll run from that job and go to another job, to another problem. Sometimes you have to stay put. And sometimes you have to stay where God put you. But some of them don't comprehend that to a certain extent. It's nothing wrong with staying in a place and growing. Now, if that place is wearing out up on your mentally state of mind, and if that place is really wearing down your health real bad, then you do need to leave. But it's like this, just because you don't like the boss, the manager, or the co-workers, that don't mean you just get a chance to run. And percentage of the time you grow. You grow because you learn how to deal with people. You learn how to deal with people, and you also too grow patience. You do. And you grow a lot of maturitiness. And when you go inside of them jobs, though too, mind your business. You can't be best friends with everybody. Everybody's not gonna like you. You probably be the sweetest one inside of there that talk, speak, laugh, and sometimes though too, sad to say, they'll look at you like you crazy. Hey, how you doing? Some don't even want to speak, but don't let that bother you. Keep it moving. And also too, give your attention to the ones that do speak. That's something that I do. When I get around people that's nice, sweet, talking, I always give them my attention. I speak to them, they speak back. Those my type of people. I don't even focus up on the grouchy ones that you speak to and they look at you crazy. I just let them have it, and I keep my day going. And a lot of y'all need to learn that. You ain't even got to talk to them about everybody. You ain't got to go tell your family or your co-workers or everybody about how they didn't speak to you when they walk past you. Just keep it moving and say a prayer for them. And that's another thing. When you get ready and go inside of these jobs, you need to learn to pray. Before I go inside of my job, you know what I do? I pray. I pray and I tell God to be in there with me. And I pray and I say a lot more things to him. You have to go inside of these jobs off prayer, because you just never know. And dealing with certain managers, though, too, that's a whole nother thing. We go inside of these jobs, these managers are mean, low down, wishy-washy. Sometimes they don't want to pay you. You can be asking for a day off. They don't even want to let you off. And that right there makes some of y'all want to quit. But sad to say, when you go into the other job, you're going to run into the same problem again. You just have to learn how to deal with it. You do. I mean, it's just life experience, and you just learning things the older you get. And some people really don't understand that. They don't. They run into another problem when they leave that place or go somewhere else. But I just want to get up here and rumble up on that. And I hope this year going good for you. Of course, we have our misfits. Of course, we have things going on around us. Of course, we have things that take place. But you got to remember, you got to keep going. You got to keep going, and you can't give up. And there's nothing wrong with loving yourself. There's nothing wrong with looking at yourself and saying you look good, or you want to be better, or you want to be around better people. That don't mean you think you're better than anybody else. You just want better for yourself. And sad to say, a lot of folks don't even think like that. They just stay in the same spot and don't want change. They want to continue to be the same size and unhealthy. They want to continue to be inside of that same relationship that's unhealthy. That's not the way to be. It's always changing, and it's always better, but you have to want it. You have to want it. Can't nobody want change for you but yourself. You have to want it. You can pray all you want to, but you have to want it though too. And God will work with you, but you have to want change. A lot of people don't want change. They want the same thing, and that's not a way to be. It's not. It's always better. And you're going to have your misfits. You're going to have your hurts. You're going to have people that do you wrong. You're going to have to lose some stuff sometimes. But you got to think, though, too, when you let go of some stuff, sometimes you gain it. A lot of people don't see that. A lot of people can't get to where they want to get because they won't let go of something. I'm using a relationship, and sometimes it is a job. Or maybe it's something else. I don't know what it is, but you have to let go sometimes. I mean, that's just it. And sometimes, though, too, God will bless you in front of your enemies. A lot of people don't get that. You get blessed sometimes. That don't mean God hate them, but sometimes God's showing them, though, too, you know, hey, this is my child right here. You know, I bless them because they do good. They treat people right. And it's like this, though, too. You're not about to go out here criticizing them, down them, and garbaging their name for no possible reason. Just because you got issues yourself, or just because you feeling some type of way. But I just want to get up on here and rant about that, and just hope and pray that y'all making it through it more than anything. Because at the end of the day, we all got something going up on, or we thinking something, or facing something. But you don't have to give up. You don't have to be smoking and drinking. You don't have to be going around, hanging around in bad crowds of people. You don't have to commit suicide. You don't have to be in a post state of mind, mentally, or any of that. Just remember, God bring you through it. If God let you wake up every day and your foot hit the ground, your first thing to do is pray and talk to him and ask him to guide you. That's the first thing. And if he let you get up and walk around, talk, speak, cook for yourself, and do for yourself, you're going to make it. You just have to keep going and ask him to guide you. That's just a message from me. You have a good one.